Alright, what's up guys? This is Lat from Tealstreet. Today I'm just going to do a fairly quick tutorial on how to use the Tealstreet trading terminal. It's going to go over a lot of the basics and hopefully get you set up and ready to trade. So just to start with, you can see I've got the Tealstreet.io homepage opened up. If you want to take a look, see we've got some of our snippets there. Show off how we look on mobile web, the supported exchanges we have, and then some images of actually some of these images are from Tealstreet 1.0. Next I'm going to show you guys we've got the documentation page, and that is docs.tealstreet.io. You click here about. Also, if you want to get it in dark mode, you click up here the top right. We've got our introduction here. Next you're going to see under connect, got our API general, and then you can click the exchanges to get a walkthrough of how to add an API key. Below connect we've got trade, and this goes over some of the main modules or the main windows of the Tealstreet trading terminal. We've also got this down here, the requests, where you can request a feature if you'd like, and then we've also got support. The best way, if you've got a question or you need some help, it's best to join our Discord and reach out in one of the Tealstreet channels there. And at the bottom of the docs page, you can see we've got links to Discord, Twitter, YouTube, GitHub, as well as our referral links that really help us stay or keep Tealstreet free. So consider using them. Nobody has to, but they do help. Next, this is our Tealstreet Twitter account. Give us a follow. Definitely helps. We've got some good stuff going on here. Got updates, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the Twitter. Next up, I'm going to show you the terminal. So this is the screen that you'll see once you've logged in. Chances are once you've logged in, you're actually going to see this tour here. And this is kind of a little walkthrough of the different modules within the trading terminal, and give you a little quick guide if you want to check that out. You can just click close if you don't want to see it. If you want to see it again, just click up here on tour. If you click docs, that will take you to the documentation page, which I already showed you a minute ago. Right, so we'll just get right into it. If this is the first time you've logged in, what you're going to need to do is click API keys up here. That'll take you to another page where you can choose the exchange you want to link and type in the details. Right. So right now you can see that I'm showing Bybit, and I'm going to go ahead and click Bybit here. Alright, I'm going to choose my API key here. It's going to ask me for my API encryption password, which you're required to choose one when you first link an API key, and they're required to be, I believe, 6 digits. Alright, so we are logged in. The first thing that I want to do is kind of take a look here at the top right. Here we're going to have notifications. That will be notifications sent from the developers of Tealstreet in case there's something like server maintenance or an update, anything like that. Here, if you click on this, you're going to see your email address and some of the other things. You'll also be able to clear your cache there. Below here, if you click this will take you to full screen. Some people like it. I don't personally use it. Next, we've got this lock here. This will lock the layout. So if you want to adjust the modules or the windows, you need to unlock it. And that will give you the ability to change things like the window sizes. You'll also be able to drag and drop, so you can choose the layout exactly how you want it. Next we got the gear icon. This is going to take you to the main trade settings. First up, we got notifications. So for example, if you submit an order, you're going to get a notification from the Tealstreet Trading Terminal, and you can choose where you want to see it. Personally, I like mine in the bottom right. Next, we've got the basic chart independent. This is for the people that use two charts. I'll cover that a little bit later. Close position on chart, either enable or disable that based on your trading preferences. Below that, we've got the show empty order book levels. I'll go over that more when we get to the order book module of Tealstreet. And then we've got the show Twitch chat. So at the bottom right, you can probably see a purple bar that says Twitch chat. If you don't want to see that, you just click that, and once you click OK, you won't see that anymore. Next, we've got the place order settings. If you're new to trading, you probably want to change these first because the K stands for thousands, and you're probably not trading 100,000 at a time. Maybe you are, but I'm assuming most people probably want to adjust these to the dollar amounts. And these are just the quick order button sizes. If you don't understand what that means, don't worry, I'll go over it in a little bit. Below place order, oh wait, let me go back. Alright, so we got the quick offsets. This is the sort of the quick orders on Tealstreet are quite useful, and you can kind of adjust how much of an offset from either the bid or the ask side of the book. And I'll go over that more in depth when we get to that module. Hotkeys or shortcuts, you can either enable them or disable them here. I'll probably make a video just on hotkeys. So once you've enabled them, you can click here, and you don't have to delete, you can just press something else and it will listen and add it. You can disable them. Next, we've got the visibility. So these are all the different modules within the Tealstreet Trading Terminal. So for now, I'm just going to show just the basics that you can see here. And we'll go over the others in a little bit. Alright, so let's move on. So as you can see, we've got the chart, probably one of the most important. So go ahead and make that a little bigger. I'll drag that. Let's take a look at the chart. You can see we've got the symbol here. You can search symbols there, but I don't really recommend it. The best way to search symbols is up here. So once you've got your API key connected here, or chosen here, you'll be able to search through the markets. All markets are here, so this shows all the different exchanges that Tealstreet currently supports. So you can see that Bybit's here, Binance, BitMEX, OKEX, FEMEX, and FTX. If you don't know what testnet means, don't have to worry about it. It's basically a way for people to get fake crypto to trade, to test things like API connections or trading bots, those kinds of things. So let's go over here. Let's look at sort of the Bybit markets. I'm going to go ahead and search for Bitcoin. Type in BTC. Alright, we've got the linear perpetual BTC. So that means is you need USDT in your Bybit trading account, derivatives account. One cool thing about Tealstreet is you can click this blue star here, and that will add that to your favorites list. And you can see that here, the top left. I'm going to go ahead and click another Bitcoin, and you can see that it just adds it right next to it. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's get some ETH going. That should be good for this. And if you want to look at your favorites, you'll notice that you can only see ETH right now, and that's because ETH is still in the search menu. And a little lag on my PC. Now you can see the 3 markets that I've added to my favorite list. You can add as many favorite markets as you want, but eventually, if you add so many, you'll need to be able to use a little slider bar. API keys can also be added to your favorite list, so you just click up here, click test, and you'll see it on the right. If you add a few different API keys, they'll just stack on this bar here. Alright, so let's take a look at the chart. You can see we've got the BTC USDT symbol here. We're looking at the 1 hour. If you want to change the time frame, you just click up here. 1 minute, the 5 minute, all the way up to the monthly. Go ahead and close this. If you want to move around, you just need to drag this here, and then you'll be able to move, or else it's usually locked. If you don't want to see this stuff here, you just right click here, uncheck that, there you go. If you want to find a different time frame, just click the time interval drop down. Let's go ahead and add one to our favorite list. We'll go ahead and add 2 hours and a 15-minute. And now you can see that we've got the 15-minute chart here. We're a little too zoomed in, so let's zoom out. Alright. Currently looking at the candlestick format of the chart. You can also choose things like hollow candles if you want, even Rinko if you're a Rinko trader. If you don't want to see bar charts, you can just click the line or the area chart. I doubt many of you use it, but if you do, go for it. Next up is the compare symbol, and this allows you to add another symbol or market to compare to. So you could add, if you want to compare Bitcoin to ETH, you would just type in ETH there and add it, and it would show. Next up is indicators. I'll go ahead and add a few different ones. Go ahead and add some Bollinger Bands. If you want to edit your indicators, you just click up here, drop down menu. Let's get on the hourly. So I want to edit my Bollinger Bands real quick. Let's click on style. I'm going to go with a step line. Get this going here. Change the color. Oh, that's the median. I don't want to change that. I actually don't even want that at all. Alright. Looking good so far. Alright, so we got our Bollinger Bands going. Tealstreet at the moment supports as many indicators as you can find on this list. Eventually we're going to add custom indicators and the ability to import community indicators, but for now this is your choice. So let's see, one more indicator. What do people like? I don't use too many indicators. Let's go for an EMA. Go ahead and edit that one. Let's get it on the white. You can adjust the opacity, so how dark or how bright you want it to be. Click this for the line thickness. Go over here to inputs. A lot of people use the 180, the 200, or the 50, just depending on whether they're scalping or looking for a swing, but just really depends on your trading style. Go for the 200. If you're ever looking for guides on indicators, the TradingView website itself has a lot of good write-ups to check out. I'm not going to use a template. This is just the ability to change the scrolls. Up here is where you can save your layout, which is very nice. So I'm just going to name this as tutorial. On the gear icon, you can kind of change the appearance and some of the setup of the TradingView chart. So on the symbol, let's say you want to change the borders to make them a little bit more visible. So now you can see the borders of the candles a little bit more visible. You can change your time zone down here. A lot of these are just really personal preferences. Play around with it if you're not familiar, and eventually you'll get really used to it and find the exact kind of setup you prefer. So that kind of covers it for the chart. Let's go ahead and look at the order book next. So I'm going to pull this up over here so we can see it. I'm going to drag it down a bit. So you can see we got the name, we got the drop down here, this cancel here, and then we also got a slider here. So one of the first things to probably do, look through the different visual modes of the order book. This is the individual. So these are the bids or the asks set on the book. You could do a combined to show all types, the individual and the cumulative. You can see sort of the liquidity hotspot there. Obviously there's going to be a lot of bids and asks at the top. So the bid side, that's the buy side. The ask side, that's the sell side. Here we've got the slider. And this really depends on the market that you're trading and the exchange. So Bybit has their BTC USDT in linear pair. The tick size is 0.5. So if you look at the price on the bid side, you'll see 81.5. Well, it's moving. You can see there's a 0.5 difference between the bid and the ask. If you want to move this up to show sort of different level sizes, we'll go back to the 0.5 real quick. So you can see this level, this is going to be 0.5 less, this is going to be 0.5 less, 0.5 less, all the way down. Up here on the ask side, it's going to be 0.5 more, 0.5 more, all the way down. Let's just go ahead and move this up because Bitcoin is currently trading at nearly $40,000, so probably don't need that much depth or that many levels. But it really is your personal preference. We go back to individual here. We don't need to see all that. If you don't want to see the 0 levels, you can actually go back up to your trade settings here. The first thing right here, show empty order book levels. Right now it's enabled, so let's disable that. And now you're going to notice that the slider is not available. And that's because we're not showing any empty levels on the order book. So really not necessary. The order book is also clickable. So if you click a price, for example, let's click this, or here, or here, you're going to notice that it's changing in the place order tile of the terminal. You can also use that to decide on your bids. So I want to place a bid here at 380. So I'm going to click this, and you'll notice it shows up. Let's do one on the ask side. Let's do it right here. I'm going to click limit, and you can see there are 2 bids, 1 bid and 1 ask on the order book. You can cancel bids by clicking the yellow X. Gotta be fast. Let's add it back real quick. And then up here at the top right, you can cancel all that are on the book. And you'll see they're gone. Depending on the exchange and the way that the servers communicate, it might take a couple seconds for the terminal to show the orders being canceled, but in reality, the second you click cancel, it's going to go through to the exchange's server. So let's take a closer look at the place order tile. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit more narrow. I don't need all that width. Give it a little more space here. Alright, so this is the currently focused order type. That's the limit type. You can change by clicking here, the drop down, and whatever you're focused on, that is going to kind of apply to everything that you do in the terminal. So going back to the limit type, we're on Bitcoin. So let's look here. If I click these down and up arrows, that's going to denominate in the order sizes determined by the exchange itself. So as far as I know, I don't believe that I can do a $1 order on Bybit BTC USDT. The minimum order size is 0.001, and that really depends on the exchange. Some exchanges will let you do less, some may require you to do more. We have here, this is the track price feature. So when I click that, this price here is going to follow Bitcoin, the last trade price. If I unclick that, it's just going to stay where I was. So if I click on the order book, for example, it's just going to stay at that price. If I click track, that's going to update with the last trade price of Bitcoin. So if you see, hopefully, yep, it's probably going to change. Give it a second. Oftentimes there's a little bit of discrepancy between the last trade price, mark price, and index price. Most exchanges have their own formulas, or they just always copy BitMEX. This is tracking the top bid, and I'm tracking the sell side or the ask side, so it's going to be tracking the top ask of the book. We can adjust the offset. So for example, if you want to submit a 0.001 Bitcoin order, but you don't want it to be at the top of the bid side of the book, you can use this to choose how far down you want to go. Now, obviously, we're on the bid side, so we don't want to go above this price because that would be above the bid side. And if you're not careful, you might accidentally get a taker order on that. It's going to apply the same principle to the ask side. So we want it to be above the, lowest ask. Post is going to ensure that any orders that you submit go to the book. So a post-only order cannot be filled as a market order. It has to hit the book or it will be canceled. So, for example, let's go ahead and make the track price positive. If I click this, you're going to see here at the bottom, canceled. That's because you can't post a post-only order to the book on the bid side that's above the top bid price. So let's go ahead and just make this negative and see what happens. As you can see on the right, it's well below, $5 below the top bid on the book. And you can adjust this quite a bit if you want. $50. And you can see, I'm going to have to scroll down quite a ways on the order book to see it, but it will show up here on the chart as well. Alright. Next we have the reduce function, and that is going to depend on the kind of open position you have. So for example, let's take a look at the open positions I have here. I've got BTC USD and ETH USD open. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get a quick, see if I can get filled real quick on this buy. If not, I'll just mark it in. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't want to fill, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark it in. Click the little up and down arrows so I can get the minimum size. Alright, so now I've got a position open. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. Now if I have reduce only on a buy, and I also have a long position open, you can probably imagine what's going to happen. I'm going to get an error, right? Because you cannot reduce a long position with a limit buy, right? If you want to reduce the position, you need to use a limit sell. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and you can see that hit the book successfully. So it posted with post only and reduce with reduce only. So a reduce only order is to ensure that you're not accidentally adding to your position. So if you're shorting, you don't want to accidentally, add, then you'll keep reduce on, and vice versa with a long position. Next you're going to see these, there's like 6 buttons here and 6 buttons here. And this is the order size. The first thing you can do if you want is you just click CC, and that's going to clear. We've got the 5 choices here, and you can edit that in the place order trade settings. So you can see we've got the button sizes here and the denomination type. So let's just leave these here for now. Alright, so go ahead here, I'm going to click here, and let's see if this works. You can probably guess it's not going to work, and that's because Bybit has a minimum bid size 0.001 for their linear Bitcoin. Now if we want to add to the position, we can keep clicking these buttons. Let's just go ahead and do 50, and you can see we've got the minimum size. Go ahead and click. Alright, now let's hit the bid side of the book. Let's click it again, and you can see that goes to 100. So that's going to be an order of 0.002 because it's $100, and 0.003 is actually $118. And it's going to work effectively the same on the sell side, the ask side. You can click these and they'll just add. If you want to clear, click CC. If you don't want it to track, you just disable. There you go. And at the top right, you are going to see a little summary of your open position. So I have here, you can see the current market that we're focused on is the linear BTC USDT. Got my size, 0.005 Bitcoin. You can see there, 0.005 Bitcoin. We've got 39394.5. You can see my entry matches that. And you're going to see negative 0.07. That's my unrealized P&L. With these, with the chart and with open orders and open positions, you can also change the denomination type. And that's going to depend a lot on the market that you're currently focused on, as well as the exchange. So right now we are on the exchange default, and that's in Bitcoin. And I can click here and it'll change it to USD. I don't really need to click Bitcoin because that's the exchange default. It's going to say the same thing here. If you want to refresh without having to refresh the entire page, you can click this button. Alright, let's go back to the dollar size. Cool. Now that we have some orders on the book, let's take a look at chart trading real quick. The first thing you notice is you can put your cursor over this here and you can drag, and that will update your order. So I'm just going to put that there for now under the last trade price. Move that up a bit. You can see. Next is you might want to add some position size. So current price is here. So let's add a limit buy. You can do that by clicking the plus side on the right. Looks like we just got filled. Nice. You can also submit orders by right clicking. So if you want to add a trade here, you click right click. So again, you right click, go to trade, you got limit buy, and that's going to match the settings you've put in the place order window. So you can see it's 49.55 and it's a post only type. Now if I put my cursor above the last trade price, you'll see that I have some different options, right? Limit sell is grayed out, and that is because I don't have anything here on the place order window. So let's go ahead and do the minimum. Let's do post, and let's do reduce. Now I'm going to go here, I'm going to click limit sell, post, reduce at the price where I'm clicking. So let's just go ahead and add that. We can also right click, let's say, yeah, here it looks good. Limit sell. Now I've got 3 limit sells on the chart. It's also going to be on the book. You just have to scroll down. One thing that people sometimes do is they want to get an order filled as a market order, but they want to adjust it through the chart. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck post. I'm going to do a little limit buy there. And as you can see, the price is about here, right? So 39336. What I can do is I can just drag this up, and you'll see I just got filled. And that's going to fill as a market order. If I try and do that with this, it's probably not going to work. And that's canceled. And the reason that was canceled because I originally submitted it with post only on, right? So I can go ahead and resubmit that. As a reminder, post only cannot fill as a market order or a taker. All right. So let's go over here and look at some of the other choices in the place order window. The most obvious one being a market type. You'll be able to select that with the drop down. Got the same button sizes here, the up and down arrows. See that? And if you click market, that's just going to immediately fill based on the exchange's best price that they can offer you. You can also use reduce only for market orders. So for example, if I want to market out a little bit of size on this position, just click that. There you go. If I click reduce and try and market buy, not going to work because you can't reduce buy on a long position. Let's go ahead and take a look at the quick order types, and this is one of my favorite features of the Tealstreet trading terminal. We'll go ahead and put in some sizes here, make this a little bigger. So you can see we've got offer bid with some numbers, offer ask with some numbers, take, and take with some numbers. This is going to coincide with the trade settings in the place order. So this is your quick offsets, and this is really going to depend on your style of trading and the market. Oftentimes I like to increase these just because I want to get more distance from the last trade price of my orders. So just increase those a little bit. We'll go ahead and cancel that. Alright. So let's go ahead and do post only. I'm going to click offer bid, and that's going to put my order at the top of the book on the bid side. Next I can do offer bid -6. So what that's going to do is look at the top price, subtract 6, and you can see right there it's 6 down from the time that I submitted. Let's go ahead and cancel that one. If I can click on it, go ahead and cancel it on the chart real quick. And we're going to click the -30. And you can see it's way further down, $30 down. Now if I uncheck post, there is a possibility that my offer bid can be filled as a market order. Depends on how fast the book is moving. It also is going to depend on the exchange. So I click that. As you can see, it hit the book, so it's not going to fill as a market. Over here we've got the offer ask side. I'm going to go ahead and click post. And if you watch the book, you can see, just do 3 of those real quick. You can see on the chart 3 orders. 3 asks just hit. So those are just going to sit there and wait to get filled, since they're effectively limits. I didn't have reduce only on, but in my case the position size is big enough to where it's not going to change the direction that I'm trying to trade. Now if I didn't have reduce on and I used a Bitcoin size that was larger than my current position, that would effectively turn my long into a short, which I don't really want to do. Let's take a look over here on the right. So this is the take ask. What this is going to do is fill as a market. If I do this, I'm going to immediately get filled, and it's going to be a taker. Yep. So depending on the exchange you're trading, there's going to be fees based on that. And you're also probably going to ask, well, why would you have a market with a +6 and a +30? Why would you ever want to overpay for a market order? Well, this generally only applies to traders that are worried about slippage. If you are trading with size and you want to market into a large position because there's a ton of volatility, well, you might want to limit the amount of slippage that you're willing to pay. So if you're doing $1 million Bitcoin order and you're worried that you're going to get a ton of slippage, this will effectively minimize the amount of slippage tolerance that you are willing to accept. And it's going to work pretty much the same thing on the bid or the ask side. These quick order types are also really great on mobile. I know some people in our community, the Tealstreet trading community, will actually use their phone for quick orders while watching the screen. So it can be really nice to, let's say, use your phone as a kind of like an order remote. Just an interesting thing. Next up, we've got stops. I think most people are probably going to do stop markets. Some of y'all probably will use stop limits. We'll just start with stop markets. First thing we want to do, add some size, and then we'll have to choose a stop price, right? I'm going to go ahead and refresh the chart a little bit. Oh, I just realized my Bybit account is on hedge mode. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording for a second and turn that off. Alright, so I am back. It's recording. Let's take a look at the stop market function of order type of Tealstreet. So let me just get a quick position going. Navigate back over here to stop market. And I've put in sort of the minimum size for Bitcoin on the buy stop and the sell stop. So if I click here and I want to choose, let's say here, that's going to, if I click the order book, it's going to reflect here in the stop market. So what I can do is I could do a buy stop at this price. But since I'm long, I don't really want a stop buy. So let's look at the stop sell over here. Let's click here. You can see 2295, which is a decent amount below the last trade price. So I'm going to click stop here, and it shows up on the chart a sell stop. So if the market moves from here to here, that's going to close my position. And that's partly because I have the same size, right? Click here, trigger. This is the trigger type for your stop. Most exchanges support at least 2 choices. An exchange like FTX only supports mark price triggers, and the difference between the 3 is a little complicated, but effectively the last trade price on a derivative is probably going to be a little bit more volatile than the spot price of Bitcoin. So for example, oftentimes when the market is very bullish, derivatives are going to trade at a premium to the spot market of Bitcoin. So what you can take from that is that the mark price generally follows the spot price of Bitcoin, whereas last price is going to follow the last trade price of this market and this exchange that we're looking at, which is the linear Bitcoin on Bybit. And third is index. Index is one of the ways that exchanges calculate the funding rate. If you don't know what that means, I would suggest going to the exchange that you like to trade on, clicking index price or searching index price or searching funding rate. And it's a way for the exchanges to take a bunch of different prices for Bitcoin from a bunch of different places, add it up, and come up with an average. But generally, most people will set stops based on mark, unless the mark price of Bitcoin, the spot price, is trading, well below the derivative price. So this oftentimes can save people from getting stopped out, even when they didn't want to, because the derivative exchange, had a huge wick below, but that wasn't the case on an exchange like Coinbase. And close on trigger is a little bit complicated, but for the most part, it acts like a reduce. If you want to learn more about close on trigger, I would recommend looking up close on trigger. BitMEX has a good guide on that. So if you go to Google, you search BitMEX close on trigger, there's a nice write-up on that. And I'll try and link that in the video description. Next, we're going to have the stop limit. And I kind of forgot. Stop markets you can also do on the chart itself. So if you want to do a stop sell, you can click the plus, or you can also right click and choose stop sell. And that's going to show the same settings that you have here in this window. So you can see mark and close. If I change that, I'll click out of there real quick. I'll click last, and you can see stop sell, close on last trade price. Let's go and take a look at a stop limit. So stop limits, if you're not familiar with this stop type, it'd be a good idea to read through the documentation provided by your exchange. I'll make a video pretty soon on how to use stop limits. But the general idea is a stop limit is going to have two prices for your stop. One will be a limit price, and the next will be a stop price. So it's for traders that are hoping to get a limit fill on their stop, but if that doesn't happen, then there is a stop price below the limit price, just in case, to ensure that even if the limit doesn't get filled, they're still going to have the stop there to close them out, protect from liquidation, or reduce your risk, whatever you're trying to do with the stop. And that's also going to allow you to choose the trigger type depending on the exchange, whether or not you want to close on trigger, and then also post for your for the limit. Generally, people are going to have a limit price higher than their stop, so maybe you want to have a stop market down here, but you're invalidated, let's say, here. So you could put your limit here, and oftentimes this will save you money on fees, because if you do get limit filled, you're not going to have to pay as much fees as you would if your stop got filled as a market. And if the market's moving really fast and you're trading with some size, the limit fill will also protect you from slippage. So let's start taking a look at some of the other modules within the trading terminal. You can see here we've got the open positions window. it's the same as in terms of customization. You can drag, you can make it smaller. I'm going to go ahead and get the open orders window here, make that a little bit smaller. Alright, so you can see I've got my BTC USDT open position at the top here. We've got the size. You can sort your current open positions either by, largest to smallest or smallest to largest. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to dollars, and you can see now I'm going to put the largest position at the top. Click that, put the smallest. Next up we got the entry price, so that's your average entry. This depends on how many orders you've gotten filled and where they were. Next up is the mark price, so that is Bybit's mark price, how they calculate it. This is your liquidation price, so as you can see, Bitcoin needs to go to 50 cents for this position to get liquidated. Don't think I'm at too much risk. Next we got up is the margin, so that is going to be based on up here. You can see your margin tile, and that is the margin amount based on your wallet and the position size and your leverage. If you're new to trading and you're using an exchange like Bybit, you're going to need to go onto the Bybit exchange website and put in the settings or the limits for your leverage. I believe a new account is limited to 15x leverage, so if you want to turn that up, you have to go to Bybit, find the pair that you want to trade, and turn it up or turn it down. Next we've got the unrealized P&L. So as you can see, my long position is a little bit underwater, so if I closed, I would lose 8 cents without taking into account fees. The 5-minute P&L, so this is attempting to track how much unrealized P&L has happened to your position in the last 5 minutes. So if your position's been open for less than 5 minutes, it's not going to be very accurate. The reason we included this in the Tealstreet trading terminal is because oftentimes people trade a lot of different markets and have maybe 3, 4, 5 different alt pairs going, open positions going, and they want to keep track of which ones are moving the fastest. And so that can be really effective, especially for people that trade multiple positions. The real P&L, this is also going to depend on the exchange and how they calculate it. But generally, that's going to be the P&L that you've made on the day. But it's best to look through the documentation on the exchange because they do things a little bit differently. At the top, we've also got the denomination choices, the 3 different denomination choices, and that is going to depend on the exchange and the contract you're trading. If you want to close a position, you can click this red close, but do be very aware that will close the entire position with a market order, with a taker. So generally you're going to pay more fees for that. Below it, I've got my open orders tile. So let me go ahead and do a few orders just so we can see it. I'm going to click limit here at the top so I can see what settings I've got. Go ahead, add a few in here. This would be a lot faster if I had enabled hotkeys. Alright, so you can see I've got, 4 limit bids, limit buys open. So they haven't been hit yet. They're waiting to get filled. They're on the book. You can see here's the symbol. Here's the quantity or the size. I can change that here, and you can see it's USD. I'll change it back. Let's go ahead and adjust this. Let's go up by 1. So I've clicked it. I basically doubled it, and you can either press enter or you can just click elsewhere. If I click here, you can see that updated the open order. So now I've got a 0.002 buy instead of a 0.001. You can also edit the price. So let's say I want to lower the price. I can do that here. Generally, it's a lot easier to just drag on the chart, but some people might use it. This is going to be filled here. So, for example, if you're trading large size and your order gets a partial fill, that will show as how much of your order got filled and how much is remaining. So on remaining, since none of it's been filled, of course these are going to match here and here. Next we've got the type, which is obviously limit, and then we've got the time of when I submitted it. If you edit an order, most exchanges treat that as a cancel of your previous and a brand new one. So if you've done an edit and you see that the time doesn't make sense, it's likely because the exchange canceled the previous order and updated it with a new one. So if you want to cancel an individual order here, you just click cancel and that will cancel it. It's no longer on the books, no longer on the chart. Cool. The next tab in the open orders window is all, and you can see that this is going to show all of your open orders across markets on your currently selected exchange or API key. So you can see I've got some Bitcoin inverse open orders as well as Bitcoin linear orders open, and I can edit that here if I want, or I can cancel. Next up we've got the stops. So I've got my sell stop there. That's here. You can adjust the stop price there. And we've got this, which is telling me to refresh the page. That might actually just be a visual bug. I'll look into that. And then we've got all stops. And so you can see I've got a ETH stop on linear, or excuse me, inverse. And if I want to cancel those stops, I can click individual cancels, or I can cancel them both there. Now if I go here, you can see it's both Bitcoin types. I can click this here, or I can click this here. If I click this, it's going to cancel everything below it. If I click here, this is going to cancel both. So let's start here. I'm going to click this. Alright, so there's 3 gone from the linear Bitcoin. But if I click here, you can see that my inverse Bitcoin is still listed here because I haven't canceled those. Only the one that I've currently got open here. Alright, let's go over here and take a look at margin. First up, you can see this bar here, this blue bar and a blinking blue light. That has to do with your internet connection and your connection to Tealstreet servers. So if you lose your connection or your internet goes out, this is not going to be filled and it's going to be red. Here we've got the denomination choice for your margin, and this is showing what's in your trading wallet or contracts trading wallet or derivatives wallet on the currently selected exchange API. So for example, Bybit, you can have a spot wallet and you can also have a derivatives wallet. You can't trade perpetual futures if you only have margin in your spot wallet. And this is going to show that derivatives wallet. So currently I've got in USDT, I've got 69 USDT. My unrealized P&L is negative 0.08, and that's because I'm looking at BTC USDT, my margin balance, the position margin, and my available balance. Available balance is effectively the amount of margin you have left to use for your position. So if I go up here, let's see if I can max it out real quick. Alright, you can see the available balance going down. We're almost there, and I think I can probably get one more, yeah, and that's it. So basically I've got 16 buys or 16 bids on the books waiting to get filled, and if those get filled, my available balance or my margin that's available for trading I'll only have $1.51 left. Yeah. And that's going to depend on your wallet balance as well as your open orders. So if you have a bunch of open orders and you're trying to add to a different position and you're wondering, why can't I get more? Why is my available balance so low? You can just go here and start canceling open orders, and that's going to build back your available balance ready for trading. Because most exchanges are not going to let you add to a position when you don't have available margin left. So let's just test that out real quick. You can see I'm getting an error, and that's because I don't have the margin to put that on the books. I'll go over here to market. Let's see if I can get one. Nope, I can't, and that's because I don't have enough margin. Alright, and you can look, of course, in either dollars or in Bitcoin, and also you can click combined. So in my Bybit account right now, I've got some USDT, I've got some Bitcoin, and I've got some ETH, right? In USDT, I've got 69 bucks. In Bitcoin, I've got a little bit, and in ETH, I've got a little bit. So combined is going to show the all of your margin added up. So let's look at Bitcoin inverse real quick, which is traded in Bitcoin itself, not USD. Let's go here. Okay, I've got $91 worth of actual Bitcoin in my derivatives account on Bybit. Let's look at ETH real quick. And you can see I've got $5 in ETH, which is 0.002, so not very much. And that ETH is worth 0.00014 Bitcoin. Go back and look at Bitcoin inverse. Alright, so 0.002, which is $91. And in Bitcoin, not USD, I have $67 worth of Bitcoin left to trade in the inverse pair. You can see right here, right? So I've got a position open, so not all of my margin is going to be available to trade. And that pretty much covers the margin tile of Tealstreet. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other things. Next, we've got the depth chart. I'm going to move this out of the way real quick. Make this a little smaller. Alright, so this is our depth chart. Has a lot of similarities to the order book. You can click here, and there are 3 modes for visuals. So let's look at the individual. We're currently looking at the Bitcoin inverse, so let's switch back to USDT. Alright, you can see this is the depth of market. I'm using the scroll wheel of my mouse to zoom in and zoom out. You can see here at the bottom, this is going to be the price of Bitcoin on the order book and the amount of liquidity or resting bids, resting asks. If I want to change, I can go to combined, and you can see the added up bids and asks with the combined. I like to watch the individual personally, but it's really up to you. Next, you can choose the secondary market, and this allows you to watch the depth of 2 markets at once. So let's say I want to watch BitMEX's inverse Bitcoin. I'll just click that, and that's going to show up in the other colors. So an easy way to see that, we'll go with combined, and you can see that the depth of markets between the two quite a bit different. Another cool feature of the depth chart is you can actually use it to trade. So let's just go with individual. Let's zoom in here. Let's take a look at our limit side of the place order. We've got currently 39156, so let's get it to 3914. 148. Let's click here. Okay, 39143. Alright, and you can see that this price is updating on the buy side, or the bid side. Let's click here. You can see the the ask side is also updating in price. So if I click, let's just click here, click there. Oh, all right. I don't think I'm maxed out on margin. All right, let me cancel some of the. Oh, I'm gonna actually have to reduce the position size. All right, well actually that's not a problem. I can just let me go over here. Let's change markets real quick. I've got some margin available here. All right, so let's just click here, zoom out a little bit. You can see that the price is probably going to be updating. Click there. Thankfully, Bitcoin inverse on Bybit allows you to trade small sizes, even less than 0.001. So I'll click there, click limit, and it's going to show up as a yellow dot. See the same thing on the ask side. I click here, my mouse, click limit, and it's going to show. You can see the yellow dots. I can do that again. And this is actually really great if you combine it with hotkeys, because let's say you have a hotkey assigned to a limit buy. You can literally just click the depth chart and then start pressing the button to get the orders in. Let's go back here, do a little overlay. I think it looks great. And this is also adjustable. You can make it bigger, make it smaller. Totally up to you. Alright, so that pretty much covers it for the basic features of the Tealstreet Trading Terminal. I'm going to start adding in some of the other modules. Click up here and hide that. We're going to go here and click the gear icon. Take us back to trade settings. And we're going to go down to visibility. So you can see that I've got 3 modules not enabled right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do the basic chart first. And I don't have basic chart independent clicked. I'll go over that in a second. Now you can see we have a second chart. Oh, a little bit too big. Let's make it a little bit more narrow. Give it some space. Hopefully that can fit. Gotta make it out of the way. There we go. Okay. So now you can see that we've got 2 different charts. I'm going to put the basic chart on the left and the main chart on the right. Let's get a little going. Give it a little bit more room. And almost. There we go. Perfect. So you can see that the basic chart and the main chart, they're showing the same symbol. Right? Let's go ahead and edit this. I want to take that off and that off. Looks a little cleaner. You can see that we are looking at Bitcoin inverse on Bybit on both charts. You might ask yourself, well, why on earth would you want to look at the same market, the same pair, same exchange? Well, the cool thing about this is if I want to look at this market on the 15-minute, I can leave it on the hour. Or I want to watch it on the 4-hour because I want to watch the high time frame and a low time frame at the same time. So you're able to do that. You can add indicators if you want. You can also adjust the types. You can add your favorites there, your favorite time intervals here. Yeah. And one thing I actually forgot to mention is if you do a lot of technical analysis on the chart, you want to click here on this blue here to show your drawings tool. And this is going to give you all the options. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll depending on the size of your chart. So let's go ahead and here. Let's all right, a horizontal ray. So I want to be able to use the horizontal ray tool at all times. So I'm going to add that to my favorites, and you can see that shows up here. You just drag that, click it again, and you've got some TA on your chart. Go ahead and minimize this. Click this blue button here. Alright, there you go. So yeah, you've got your Bitcoin on the 4-hour, and Bitcoin on the 15-minute. Now, maybe you don't really care about that, so you can go back here, you can click Basic Chart Independent. What that allows you to do is look at a completely different symbol. So maybe you want to watch the S&P 500. So I'll just go ahead and here, click the search bar, type in SPX, USD. There you go, I've got the S&P 500 contract going from forex.com, and that's going to show that market. You can click here to close it out, and you can search something else. Maybe you want to watch, I don't know, what's a good one? Maybe gold. We can watch gold. Let's go with gold, see what it pulls up for us. So we've got CFDs on gold. You can see that gold is currently trading at almost $1,900 an ounce. Go ahead and take that off. Alright, that looks good. You can also edit some of the settings on this chart by clicking the bottom right. Go ahead and close that out. And I'm just going to turn this off for now so we can look at some other modules. Let's go ahead and look at the Twitter feed next. Alright, so you can see the basic chart is gone, but we have the Twitter feed enabled. So this is the Tealstreet Trading Terminal Twitter feed. I don't think any other exchange or terminal offers this, so it's pretty unique. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. If you don't want to use it, just don't enable it on the visibility settings. You can see that we've got 5 different categories of Twitter accounts. I don't think you say Twitters. First is we've got the traders, and this is just a curated list of some of the traders that we follow. Oftentimes they're going to post, some trade setups, technical analysis, maybe some of their outlook on the market. If you click here, it's going to open a new tab to Twitter to show you the tweet on Twitter's website itself. Let's scroll to the top. You can see the top tweet was from 18 minutes ago. If you don't want to see this person's account or this person's account, you just click this blue eye symbol here, and that will filter the account. So let's just close these out. And maybe you decide, oh wait, I did actually not want to filter that account. You just go up here, click clear, and it'll bring those guys back. And this is going to be the news category. This is, again, a curated list of some of the people that we follow on Twitter. They do a lot of like news squawks and updates on markets, updates on world events and news. Next we've got the bots category. This is going to show some of the automated Twitter accounts that are pretty popular. You can see things like unusual selling, unusual buying, large transfers, things like that. Up next we've got the liquidations. So similar to the bots, but these are accounts that focus entirely on liquidation events. You can see here FTX wrecked, hourly price update. That actually doesn't include liquidation, but here WhaleBot, Binance liquidated long. You can see that they had to sell almost 250K worth of Bitcoin. And if you trade based off of liquidations or you include that as a signal, this can be pretty handy. TS, this is going to follow the tweets from Tealstreet's official Twitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Twitter feed, although there's one last thing. Oftentimes when people are tweeting a lot, you're going to get little notifications here at the top on these category headers. Now you may not want that, so what you can do, you click Trade Settings, click down here to Twitter, and you can unclick or disable the bell. You're not going to get a sound, but you will get a little small notification symbol. And if you uncheck that, those won't be visible anymore. You can also disable certain categories just by unchecking. So let's just turn off, let's say we don't want to watch the traders, and we don't want to watch liquidations. So you can see I've only got 3 instead of, was it 6? Yeah. No. Yeah, 6. Okay, cool. All right. Now it's 5. What am I doing? I can't add today. Jeez. All right. So we've got the Twitter feed back. The last thing we've got to take a look at is the risk profile. We've already got a video on the risk profile on Sam's YouTube channel, but I'll just go over it real briefly. I'm going to enable it there. As you can see, it pops up here. We'll just give it some depth. Let's see, we've got a note right now just to give you a little bit of a summary on what's going on with the risk profile, since it's technically still in beta. So it might have a little bit of maybe a bug or two, but nothing too bad that I've noticed so far. If you want to close that note, you just click it there. There you go. So the first column is going to be the spread type. The second is moves, and then the third is debug. Debug is really not important. It's more for the developers who, if we do encounter a bug, we can pull some data from there. I'll go ahead and include a link to the other YouTube video that goes over the risk profile more in depth. So if you're interested, you can check that out. This also has the denomination choices at the top right and dynamic versus static. Yeah. So that pretty much covers all of the modules of Tealstreet and hopefully all the basic functions. So if you have any questions, let me know. I've got Film here from the community that's listening in. Let him ask if he's got any questions.
Well, to be honest, you covered one of my biggest questions. I was always wondering like how people were placing orders off the depth chart like that.
Oh, okay. Well, that reminds me, the hotkeys. Yeah. So here,
yeah.
Let me just enable those real quick. All right, I'll go ahead and enable them. So we've got toggle track, which I went over on the place order. Toggle post, same thing. Place order, place buy order, place sell order. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to I'm going to do Q and E for buy and sell. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Oh. I'm going to disable the Twitter feed for now. Go ahead and put this here, give it a little bit more width. Oh, be careful with that. Bring this over here so we can see. And let's go there so we can also see that. All right. For the video, I'm just going to turn off the secondary market overlay. It's just so we can get a better idea. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and click here, and that's going to be reflected up there. Clicking here, also reflected on the ask side. So I believe I said buys are on Q, so I click here. There you go, yeah. So click. I'm pressing Q on my keyboard. I did a lot, so it's probably going to take a second. And you can see I just submitted a ton of orders.
And it just matters where your mouse is hovering over at the time, correct?
Well, no. It's where you click on the depth chart. So
okay, and then it stays at your last click then?
Right, because so take a look here. Let's delete these two. And I'm going to click first on the ask side, so I'm going to click here. And you see it pops up there. Mm-hmm. Let me get rid of this. So there's nothing there right now. If I click here, pops up there. So if I click here, the bid side is changing. Click again, changing, 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 changing. Click here, submit an order with Q. Click here, submit an order with E. There you go. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I saw Sam do that on stream, and I always wondered. I tried clicking on the depth chart, and I was like, why isn't it placing an order?
Yeah, so um, one thing to actually like really keep in mind, just for anybody, is that the whatever you're focused on, and by focused I mean like what you have clicked here on the place order, that is going to reflect on your actions within the terminal. So, for example, if I have, you know, let's say $10 here instead of 5, and then I go over here and I do $50. Let me just cancel some of these open orders because they're not great for the example. All right. So I'm going to click here and buy. And you can see that we have a $50 order open. But I had 10 here. So it really depends on what you're focused on. Let's go ahead and let's do 100 here. Let's cancel this. Click here. Press Q. So we got $100 resting on the books when it was 50 here and 10 here.
So could you do that with a stop order?
And the depth chart?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I go here, click here, you can see there's the stop price is empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I click here, it's going to show up,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
If I click here, it's going to show up. Now, if I go over to shortcuts, let me just take a quick look. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me cancel this just in case. Click that. I'm going to click here. Undo that. Hold on just a second. I think. Okay. So I don't believe that the hotkeys are going to work for stops because we don't have that feature enabled or done or implemented. So you can click the depth chart and then click stop to reflect the price. But if you're using hotkeys and the depth chart, it's going to be with buys and sells, not stops.